First time I remember learning how to ride clutch, I went way too fast and went right directly into a tree. So like most people learning this, I figured out quickly that it wasn't going to be second nature. I can understand that for some people this won't be the most interesting topic because they don't ever want to ride a motorcycle, but according to www.motorsport.com, the clutch on a bike works exactly the same as a clutch on a car. So hopefully some of you guys can apply this knowledge to how your car works. I learned how to use a clutch when I was 10 years old, so it's not something that's so complicated that a kid can't figure it out. In fact, most kids start earlier than that. It's just a new concept. Today I'll start by briefly explaining the different components of a clutch, how they all work together, and then how you can make them all work for you to ride a motorcycle. Only 18% of Americans know how a clutch works, according to driversed.com. So to simplify all this information, I've broken it down into inner and outer components. We'll start with outer components and move into inner. There's only two main components on the outside that you need to be worried about, and that's the clutch lever and the gear shift. The clutch lever looks exactly like a front brake lever that are on a lot of regular bicycles, but the clutch lever will always be on the left side of the handlebars. The same goes for the gear shift. It's on the left side of the bike, but it's down by your left foot, like where a bicycle pedal would be. It's right in front of the foot peg, so you can push it up and down with your toes. The inner components are a little bit more complicated, so I've tried to simplify it as much as possible. To start with, you have discs, circular discs on the inside of the clutch, and there's a bunch of them, like they're plates and they're all stacked up, and each one coordinates to a gear that the bike can be put into, and then they have a hole in the middle, so the inner hub goes into the hole, and then it puts tension on whichever gear that you choose. So then there's the gear discs, like the plates, and then an inner hub, and then around that is an outer basket. That simplification was found on motorcyclist.com. Now that we've broken down all the different components, I'll go into how they all work together. After first starting a motorcycle, you want to have the clutch lever pulled in. What this does is it releases the tension on all of those discs that are inside the clutch, so you can choose whichever gear you want to ride in. Anytime after you have it rolling, when you need to change gears, you pull in the clutch lever first. Changing gears. After you have the clutch lever pulled in, the next step is changing the gears, and you do that with the gear shift, again down by your left foot. So you move it up or down as many clicks as you want with your toe, that's upshifting or downshifting. What this does is it's telling the transmission which disc to put the tension on inside of the clutch. So it's now time to put all of these ideas together. When first learning, I would suggest starting in a big open area with as little things to run into as possible. Trust me. So you begin by making sure that the bike is in neutral. So neutral is a gear that you could put the bike in just like you can put your car in neutral. Neutral is half a click up from first. So you'll hear it's a louder click when you're going from like first to second to third. You just push it lightly up and it will half click into neutral. The reason for this little half click is to make sure that you never accidentally shift it into neutral when you're riding. Once you have it in neutral, you can start the bike and then pull in the clutch lever and then downshift with the gear shift into first. You have the bike running, you have the clutch lever pulled in, and it's downshifted into first. The next step is getting it rolling. Now getting it rolling, this is the part where it takes some technique. So pretty much all you need to do is you have the clutch lever pulled in, and then on the throttle you slowly twist it, and at the same time, with the same speed, you let out the clutch lever. The reason that this movement is so important is because if you do it wrong, then the bike will stall and turn off. You need to let it out slowly enough that the clutch has time to put the tension on the right disc and put it into gear. So once you've mastered that, whenever you need to change gears when you're rolling and riding, all you need to do is pull in the clutch lever and then let off the gas, pull in the clutch lever, and then choose whichever gear you want with the gear shift. Whenever you need to stop, you just pull in the clutch again, let off the gas, and then you could press the kill switch, and that will turn the bike off. So today we've gone over the working parts of a clutch, how they all work together, and then how you can make it work to ride a motorcycle. This can seem complicated at first, and it can be, most definitely, but just like with any skill, if you practice enough, it becomes second nature. Thank you for listening to my speech. I hope that this was more helpful than it was confusing, and that it made some of you guys interested in riding motorcycles.